Hi, I'm Chilton Webb, the creator of Glycon, which is a motion capture system that uses your VR headset to perform motion capture, and soon a suite of other tools to help you perform motion capture. And today I'd like to go over an interesting paper that was sent to me by one of my users. So this particular one is called QuestEnvSim. It's an environment-aware simulated motion capture system. And according to the abstract, it is replicating a user's pose from only wearable sensors. And what they're doing is using what they call reinforcement learning to basically perform some really amazing motion capture stuff. So I'm gonna play part of the video for you here, and I'll link to the video also.
Algorithm that generates a realistic environment interaction of the user from sparse sensors. Given an environment geometry, a window of headset and controller pose, we simulate a character and learn a control policy to drive the character to track the sparse sensor in a natural-looking motion. Physics simulation automatically enforces various constraints necessary for realistic poses and achieves high-quality interaction motions without artifacts such as penetration or context sliding. Green spheres in the video indicate height maps centered around the simulated character to absorb its surroundings. On the top right is the reference video took to visualize the user motion for comparison purpose, and it is not a part of the system input. Our system only takes headset and controller poses and environment geometry as input.
Okay, so I'd like to go back here and watch this one more time and pause it on a few things here. Okay, so one of the first things here is when the person is walking around, you may think, oh, it's tracking their feet, but it's not. If you notice, if you look at the knee positions and the feet positions, it's kind of tracking where they are relatively well, but it's actually not tracking the feet. If you notice, there are different feet positions, and when the person sits on the couch here, it's gonna miss one of the feet in a second and pull the foot way up in the air. And what's actually happening here is this is not a thing where the camera is missing it. It's trying to apply a learned model on top of the person's motions. So this isn't actually exactly mocap. It's like mocap that is then run through an AI system, what we're referring to as AI these days. So as the person walks around, you see that. And so skipping ahead in the video, they're going to do some interesting stuff. Like here we go, we're stepping over these boxes. Again, it's not exactly going to track their feet. That's why the feet aren't the same. It's not actually what you're seeing on the model is not actually what's in the video. It's what's in the video and then run through another system that attempts to create the correct situation. And then the last part of this is not, I guess that one term for it would be procedurally generated, but it's not mathematically generated in any way, programmatically generated. It's supposedly a blend of motion capture and then combined with a trained model. Now here's the funny part here. You can see it screw up right here at the very end of this. All right, we're going to set this to slow-mo. So here's my theory. I think that there is actually a third component to this, and that they're using some kind of IK system and mesh collision system, because you can see the foot get caught and it starts to deform on the box. The dots on the ground are being raycast down vertically, and that tells me that this is, they're trying to predict where where surfaces are, and so they've correctly predicted the top of this box. But when the character moves over it like this, it really looks like it's an IK system that gets caught. So maybe more than just what they're talking about in the paper. Maybe there is a third component. And as you can see, that looking at the video on the side, the person hasn't actually moved enough to justify that particular motion. And you can see here coming off that box. Now, first off, what it appears to be doing is, I would say, kind of closely matching. But I don't know. There's something not right about this. So it's already coming down off the box in that case. It's already on the ground. And it's got foot motion there. I can't help but feel this is a trained model plus something else, and really they're just kind of loosely basing it on the camera motion. See, her foot's already on top of this, and the reason that character's foot's not on top of it is because it's incorrectly detected where the center of mass is for the body. So that's why the wrong leg is coming up, and that's why the other leg is caught behind. It didn't catch the center of mass for the body and at the correct point on the ground. I don't know what's going on there. That's kind of jacked up. This was one of my favorite ones, though. This is pretty cool. Let's get to this. So here he's going to sit down in this chair. She's going to sit down in the chair. So if you look at the foot, the way the foot's tapping when this happens, I suspect, I mean, first off, this is really amazing stuff. There's no question about it. I didn't realize I have it set to slow. Back to normal. That's really cool. You know, I can't wait to get something like this in Glycon. Look at that. The part where they almost fall is pretty neat. Okay, so this is an interesting use case here. Now, I'm familiar with a lot of this because I have tried a lot of things in Glycon over the years trying to get something similar to this working. I know how hard it is to do what they're trying to do. Okay, so the skittering feet there is definitely an IK system that's trying to guess where the feet should be positioned. And you see that in Glycon too. You can change the physics setting in Glycon to get some very similar results. It's unnatural looking. That was cool. So the foot goes under here properly. And so that they're saying that this is a trained model, but it really looks more like a inverse dynamic system, similar to what deep motion has. But man, it screws up there when they get back up. I wonder why. I wonder if it's actually trying to match the foot position and just goes overboard. But do you see? So what I'm saying is, this is an awkward position. It's clearly not the same as in the model. And at the same time, though, the legs don't ever clip each other, and they don't clip the ground, and they seem to be following some rules of physics here that make me think this has nothing to do with machine learning, and this is actually a maybe an inverse kinematic system with collisions in physics, or maybe inverse dynamics. You can see the foot correct itself when she gets back up here. So that's wrong. That's correct. Now that foot sliding back over like that, you wouldn't see that in Cascadeur. You wouldn't see that in deep motion. In both of those, they're using inverse dynamics. Yeah, this looks like ragdoll kind of stuff here. They're saying that it's based on a model, a machine learning model, but I'm not convinced of that at all. Okay, so this one is okay. Gets up, walks around. Didn't they claim this is based only on... Yeah, they're claiming this is only based on the head-mounted device pose. So one of the things that you find when you read the paper is this model, this environment, is pre-scanned and passed into the system also. So this is not a thing where they are automatically detecting the surfaces that she's sitting on in the background. That they've pre-modeled the surfaces in the background, or at least passed those in to the environment. And so that's why that box is not the same box. If you notice, it has it has the little markers in the wrong places, and that's why. It's because you also notice that the box is not in the same place exactly as the one up here. The 3D model is not the same as the room, basically. It's not exactly the same, but it is. Every surface here has a physics collision system on it, and that's why the character is able to sit in different places. But you notice that the leg does clip through the couch here in this position, in this particular case. So they kind of, I guess my point is, they kind of have a ragdoll character. I don't know what the deal is with the arms there, why they spread out. Watch this. I don't know what's going on there. Is that a collision physics thing? It kind of happens every time they have the character sit down. It moves the arms. There it is again. That's weird. Okay, so the arms are... There's something odd going on there. So this is tracking the hand positions also. Got the foot wrong on that one. I believe, according to the paper, they ran all of this through. This is not real time. That's another thing I need to stress. This is not a real time simulation. This is something that they took the video, processed it, passed it through the AI system, did some other stuff. The fact that you see the video and the model up here at the same time makes you think that it's real time, but it's not. Which is a shame, because honestly, if it's not real time, you could have just done a better job of tracking in the video. the legs are kind of janky here, and you'll notice that the leg positions are incorrect, like that one, that one, and then there's this kind of stuttering walk here. And if you're thinking, oh well, Glycon isn't this good, you're not wrong. Glycon has a ton of issues with regard to just head mounted and leg tracking when you're just talking about the head and arm tracking. I know those problems too well. Hoping to fix those at some point in the near future. Okay, so what we're seeing here is that why would you show this? This is definitely just ragdoll and IK with some physics. I know they did not mocap a person falling on their face like that. That's too funny. Yeah, so my point is, I know these problems too well because I am trying to fix them all day, every day in Glycon. And you know, here's what I don't get. To be perfectly honest with you, why do you show stuff like this? Why would you, if you have a piece of software that's not quite working right, you don't show all of the horrible things going wrong. I mean, I've done that before. I've done blooper reels for Glycon, but this is that's kind of funny. Anyway, it's a cool paper. You should definitely check it out. It's definitely the direction things are going to be going in, not only in Glycon, but just the entire industry. We're all moving towards AI-assisted stuff. And there will be a whole video component to Glycon soon. In the meantime, it's all VR equipment. But the reason that Glycon is called Glycon 3D and not Glycon VR is because I didn't want to stick us in that box of only being able to support 3D or VR when I actually had a ton of 3D stuff that I wanted to do with video and other systems. So that's it. But that is a really cool paper, and I'm glad to see that other people are running into the same kind of problems I am. Makes me feel a little better, you know. This is the QuestEnvSim environment-aware simulated motion tracking from Sparse sensors at SIGGRAPH 2023. And now I'm thinking I need to show off some stuff at SIGGRAPH. Maybe I'll do that this year. All right, thanks for watching. And for more information, you can go to glycon3d.com to see what my solution is to all of this stuff. Thanks. Have a great day.